Whoa, excuse me. I'm not over at the drafting table, sitting here having a cup of tea, listening to some tunes, waiting for everybody to show up, and you are here. I'm Craig Haupt. And last episode, I went over a list of a whole bunch, 6 things I was working on. This episode, what I'm going to be doing is just concentrating on one of those things, and that's this new watercolor. So let's go. First, where do we leave off? Obviously, the worksheet, but also the doodle, the first concept, and then the 22-year-old worksheet attempts of design work. Uh-oh, I see hands up. I know what you're going to ask. What are you working on now, Craig? I'm going to tell you. These petals, this border work design that I had around here, some of them I had finished, not all of them. So that's what I've also worked on. They're all finished now. Few adjustments maybe, but they're all finished. Then there's the negative space. This area, there's the positive, and this is all the negative. And I just felt it was just too much negative space for the design. So I started playing around with something that I could balance that out a little bit more to my satisfaction. And so I started working with some type of extensions that would extend from some of the petals that would take care of that, balance it out a little bit more. So these are some I tried. They didn't work. So I started playing around some more, and I came up with these. Well, okay, designs are situated. We'll see how they work out. And now for the design work in here. And I'm going to show you what I'm putting in. This first grouping are 6 of the petals. And the second grouping are the remaining 4 petals, 10 in all. So are all those little designs finished? Nah. Still, just like anything else, until I get it to the point where I'm inking it in, there's still going to probably be little tweaks here and there. So what's next? Moving on to the transfer, getting ready for finished design work. Different day, different location, different shirt, among other things. What I'm going to do for the rest of the episode, there's 2 things that I'm going to get into right now, is the paper and the layout. And the paper that I use is this right here, if I can pick it up without the pencils rolling all down. This one right here. And this is an Arches, 140 pound, 100% cotton fiber, smooth, hot press paper. And then there's more on the paper next episode. Next is all the layout tools I'm going to be using, and that's the protractors, the compass, rulers, all my straight edges, angles, eraser, pencils. And so, which brings us to laying out the paper, which I have my paper already trimmed down to the size that I want it. I've got, and you can't see it, but I've got 2 lines, horizontal and vertical, or vertical and horizontal, that get my center point. Not the center of the paper, but the center of the design that I'm working with. So the issue I have at the beginning is this little center mark right here. That's my point where I create all my radiuses and all my line work going around. The issue is that all these radiuses and everything are done with the compass. Compass has got a pin. I have to put the pin on the paper, and it creates a hole. This sphere that I'm making here does not get dots, it gets watercolor. So the hole I create from the compass, I can't cover that up with the watercolor. So I've got to come up with a solution. Solution is, so this is how I solved my issue. I put a piece of tape down, then I put a piece of thick paper down and tape that. And in that way, when I put that little pinhole in there from the compass, it won't go through to the good paper. One thing I had to consider was the adhesive from the tape, whether that would leave some sort of film on the good paper that would affect the watercolor. I made a test and it showed that no, there wasn't enough adhesive that transferred, and the watercolor stayed consistent from good to where the tape was going to be. Okay, I've got that set up on my good paper. I've got my vertical horizontal lines in to get my center point over the next couple weeks. Measuring, straight lines, curved lines, then a lot of inking in, and then 528,742 dots. Don't hold me to that. So I'm going to end the episode here because over the next couple of weeks I'm going to get this to as much of a finished point as I possibly can. So then I'll show you that. Until then, take care everyone. It's been great seeing your wonderful smiles. Bye-bye.